Before we get into the video, make sure y'all like, subscribe if you're new. I mean, come on, what are you doing? If you're not subbed to me by now, my content is fire for chats from his news videos, stop motions, tour reviews, tour photography breakdowns, music occasionally. My Instagram is linked down below. And yeah, let's get straight to it. Okay, so it is that time again, people. Actually, I think this is my first time doing this type of video, so maybe not again. But it is time to list my top 5 legacy figures from 2022. Now, for those of you that were following the channel pretty much the whole year, you will know that I've been pretty critical of legacy at times and the character choices and some of the repaints and stuff. So I haven't bought a ton. Like, there's 12 figures right here. I'm gonna pick 5 that were my favorites from this past year. And it's not that I hated every figure from Legacy. There were some that I just did not like, but it was the fact that I just don't care about getting a lot of those characters like right away. I do plan on getting the Stunticons, or at least some of them. I do want to get Kickback, I do want to get Road Rocket, maybe Bulkhead, and some others that have come out from last year. But yeah, I don't want to ramble too much longer. There's 12 figures here. I'm picking 5 out of them. Let's get straight to it. And coming in at number 5, we have Velocitron Cosmos. I know it was a pain and an utter outrage to get this figure earlier this year, and it still is for a lot of people who still haven't found it. But I was lucky enough to find somebody that was able to get one for me in the wild and ship it my way. Thank you very much for that. And the reason why he's not higher on this list and he's at number 5 is because, you know, the pin joints, that's a common issue. They're a little loose on mine, still gotta tighten it, but it's not too bad, which is why I still haven't done it yet after owning this figure for like 4 or 5 months. And the yellow paint, focus camera, come on camera, work with me please. And the yellow paint being scratched a little bit on those circular pieces is a little bit annoying, but with paint app damage like that, sometimes to me I consider it as like battle damage, so it's not too big of a deal. But overall, the reason why he made my top 5 is because he's just fun to mess with. He feels solid, he's a nice little dude, and other than the hollow forearms too, I didn't really like that either, but not too big of a deal because, you know, this is an exclusive. They had to work with the budget they had to work with. But yeah, solid figure to mess with. Love the transformation, love how he looks, and I love the character of Cosmos. We need more Cosmos representation in modern media. And at number 4, we have the crazy spider scientist himself, the boy, the Predacon, the legend, Tarantulas. And the reason why he is at number 4 is because he feels great to mess with, just like Cosmos. He was really fun, but it's just the fact that his spider legs cannot spin around to the more CG cartoon accurate look, and the head not moving up and down enough, you know, for a character that's also supposed to be a ninja. The arms and the head don't move as much as I would like, and that sort of just plays into deluxe figures these days in general for me. They just feel so bland in terms of features and articulation. But other than that, the way he looks, just posing the lower legs really helps, and just the paint apps, the sculpt work, and the spider mode is really solid too, and just messing around with him is really fun. But those 2 points with the arm articulation, the head articulation, bring it down a little bit to number 4. But other than that, I love this Tarantulas figure. And coming in at number 3, we're getting down to the nitty gritty, the last 3 figures, people. At number 3, we have Crasher from the Velocitron line Wave 2. She literally just came out like 2 weeks ago. Like the days before Christmas, I find her at my Walmart, and I'm like, yes, I need to have her. I've wanted this figure, this version of her, for 15 years now. When I was a little kid, when the 2007 movie deco of her came out from the repaint of Classics Mirage, I always wanted that, never got around to getting it, I just never had the chance to, and now that I have the option to get this one on a way better mold, for Crasher at least. I don't think this mold fits Mirage, for the record. I do think this fits Leadfoot and of course Crasher way better. And I love the inclusion of an ab crunch. Oh, I love it when these newer deluxe figures have ab crunch, even if it's few and far between. And the reason why she's at number 3, I don't really have a particular reason. It's just that I love her, but I don't love it as much as the next 2 figures we're going to be talking about. But there is a little paint blemish. You can kind of see it. Focus camera. My camera just doesn't want to focus today, but there we go. Okay. You can see there's a bit of black bleeding through on the upper nose. That does suck. It is a little noticeable, but I haven't been annoyed with it too much. But yeah, the transformation feels solid. Love the tight joints. She just feels like a well-built deluxe class, and that's been the theme for these picks. It's just well-built, fun, nice and compact deluxe class figures, and I didn't even realize that until I was making this list, because so many other deluxe class figures I've felt the past few years just have been sort of boring and just flat for me in terms of articulation and features and abilities, but these past 3 figures have been really great to me. So yes, let's get down to the final 2, shall we? And coming in at number 2, we have Voyager class Jixus from Wave 2. Came out around July, August, September, that time frame. I got him in around early October. I think it was like October 7th. And I just fell in love with this guy, the transformation, the way he looks, the way he feels. His height is very nice. I love the lankiness. The one thing that I do want to mention is that I don't know if this is just different colored plastic or not, but you can sort of see it. Let me turn off some lights here to show y'all real quick. You can sort of see it now. There's discoloration in the hip area right here. This piece of plastic on both sides where it's pinned in. This whole block right here that I'm circling with my finger on both sides and on the back. Just that whole piece. And then his butt area right here. Oh, the butt. No. There's some like weird yellowing going on. I don't know if like the plastic was just a different color and that's how it's made or not, but and I also don't know if there's been any other cases reported on this, but it seems like there's a little bit of yellowing going on these 2 pieces and the back crotch plate piece right here for his butt area. So I don't know what's up with that, but other than that, let me turn these lights back on and focus, you stupid camera. And yeah, other than that, this figure is fantastic. I love the hand articulation, absolutely awesome. The wrist swivel's great. The up and down on the feet, the ball jointed head works phenomenally. The waist swivel, I just love the articulation. The fact that he has single jointed elbow that bends deeper than 90 degrees, you do not see that too often on a Transformers figure. But yes. And my number 1 pick for my favorite Transformers Generations Legacy figure of last year, we have Titan Class Metroplex. Now, I know there's been a lot of controversy about this figure, him not coming with his minicon, him having less features, and of course the Titan Class price point jumping from, I think it was, what, $170, $180 in 2021 to 2022 being $200. Yes, that is a big issue. I did address that pretty fairly and a lot earlier last year. But after getting him in hand, the plastic feels great. The ratchet joints literally feel like a figure you would mess with from the early 2000s, from Unicron Trilogy, the first couple movie toy lines and stuff like that. It just feels phenomenal. There's no yellowing on him at all, which, I mean, I don't know if you should count that towards good quality, because that just seems like something that should be obvious. It shouldn't be happening until years down the line, but hey, I guess you could count that since that's the world we live in these days. So, and then I love the inclusion of the weapons being able to split apart. I actually like it better than his axe feature. Not really axe, but like, what's another name for that? Those sort of handheld weapons. I'm drawing a blank, but I love that. I actually prefer it this way than him holding it as one big piece, because I don't know, at times it feels a little too short and it feels a little awkward, him holding it in certain poses and him two-handing the weapon. Maybe that new upgrade kit that's coming out will fix that, because it's supposed to add some length to it, and I think another handle or something, or I can't remember, but I'm definitely going to be getting the upgrade kit for the Minicon though. Drill bit was sorely missing from this, and even some Minicon ports too. They give Minicon ports to Bulkhead, but not Armada, Starscream, and Metroplex. That is a little bit odd to me. There are Minicon ports missing on his forearms, but I literally just remembered after seeing there are no Minicons. Or Minicon ports, I should say. Blah, blah, blah. There are Minicon ports on... I can't remember where... Oh, they're up on these weapons right here, which is an odd place. And I think on another piece on this figure there are, but I can't find it right now. But even just handling him right there, he feels so heavy. This dude is at least like 5-6 pounds. I'm telling you. The ratchet joints are nice and stiff. He poses great. He's probably the most posable Titan we have. The mouth articulation, the double jointed head, the forearm swivel, hand articulation. You have the ankle pivot up and down on the feet, and rotation at the feet. He has ab crunch, just phenomenal articulation. Love the way this guy looks. The paint apps is great sculpt work. It's just a great Titan class figure, despite the price increase and him lacking his Minicon and some other play features that he had in the older toy and even on the show. But yeah, that's gonna do it for my top 5 Transformers Legacy figures. Metroplex is definitely my favorite. Some honorable mentions I do want to talk about. HasLab Starsaber. I'm going to be putting up sort of an overview, some pros and cons of that figure, I think. Probably later on this week, definitely. And Inferno and Armada Starscream. Those are great figures, but like I talked about before, the plastic and transforming them just doesn't seem that great to me. There's already stress marks on them, and there's figures, pretty much all of my figures from 10, 15, 20 years ago, I've transformed multiple times, and there's 0 stress marks, so I don't know what's up with that. Same thing with Dragon Megatron, there's some stress marks on him. It really does feel like the red plastic they were using this past year, and in general the past year or two, feels a bit brittle compared to other colored plastics. I don't know the science behind that, but that's just how I see it. And Override, I love her. She's a great figure, but she feels a little bland in terms of articulation at a Voyager. And there was some QC issues with the paint apps on the head sculpt. There was some paint missing on the eyes and just a few crusty paint marks. But then everybody else you saw on that list was just figures that I wanted, but I wasn't really going to put them on a top 5 list or honorable mentions like Crankcase or Sandstorm, even though it is great getting Sandstorm, who is basically one of the first disciples of Primus and one of the first Transformers born, I guess you could say, which was dope. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. Let me know down in the comments below y'all's top 5 Transformers Legacy figures, or top 5 Transformers figures in general that you got in 2022. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.
Congratulations, you have made it to the end of this video.